It's funny. We talk about information overload all the time.
Yeah.
But you've been wrestling with a serious stack of research for this deep dive.
I have.
We're talking about Agentic RAG.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, from what I've seen, it's not just hype.
Oh, it's fascinating. Really fascinating.
So think of it like this. We've got RAG, which is already pretty cool
Right.
for pulling information from a ton of data.
Mm-hmm.
But Agentic RAG, it's like RAG
It's like RAG went to grad school
went to grad school and got a PhD.
and got a PhD in problem solving.
Okay, so grad school for AI.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
But let's back up a sec. For anyone who might not be totally familiar with RAG itself,
Okay.
what's the foundation we're building on here?
Good point. So imagine you've got a question.
Okay.
But the answer is spread out across a bunch of different documents, website, whatever. Our RAG is like a super smart research assistant that can go out and find those pieces and pull them together.
So instead of me having to dig through all that myself,
Yeah,
RAG does the heavy lifting.
exactly. It retrieves the relevant information.
Okay.
Now, Agentic RAG takes that a step further.
Okay.
Instead of just gathering information, it can actually use that information to figure things out, make decisions, even take actions.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
AI making decisions.
Yeah.
That sounds both incredibly useful
Mm-hmm.
and maybe a little scary.
Yeah.
What kind of actions are we talking about here?
Well, it depends on the task, of course.
Okay.
But let's say you're using Agentic RAG to plan a trip.
Mm-hmm.
It could not only find the best flights and hotels based on your preferences,
Okay.
but it could also book them for you, schedule transportation,
Wow.
and even recommend activities based on the weather forecast
Okay.
and your interests.
So it's like having a personal travel agent.
It's like having a personal travel agent.
That's always one step ahead.
That's always one step ahead.
Okay, so it's not just about finding information. It's about using that information to actually get things done.
Right.
That's a pretty big leap.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And one of the coolest things about Agentic RAG is that it can learn and adapt over time.
Oh.
The more you use it, the better it gets at understanding your needs and anticipating what you want.
So it's kind of like having a super smart assistant.
Yeah.
That gets even smarter the more you work with it.
Exactly.
But why is this all happening now?
What?
What's pushing Agentic RAG to the forefront?
I think, well, for one thing, the sheer amount of data we're dealing with is exploding.
Okay.
We're drowning in information, and traditional methods just can't keep up.
Yeah.
Agentic RAG offers a way to not only manage that information,
Right.
but to actually make sense of it and use it effectively.
You're preaching to the choir here.
I know, right?
I mean, look at the stack of stuff we're going through for this deep dive alone.
Exactly.
But it's not just about the volume of data.
Right. It's not just about the volume.
There's more to it.
Absolutely. Another big driver is this increasing demand for personalization.
Okay.
People want experiences that are tailored to their individual needs and preferences, whether it's shopping, entertainment, or even something like healthcare.
So Agentic RAG can help deliver that level of personalization.
Yeah,
By understanding what each individual user wants.
precisely.
Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Agentic RAG can even go beyond what the user explicitly asks for.
Okay.
Let's say you're searching for information about a particular medical condition.
Hmm.
Agentic RAG might not only find relevant articles, but also connect those articles to information about clinical trials or support groups in your area.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
It's almost like it's thinking ahead for you.
right.
But all of this sounds incredibly complex.
Yeah, it is complex.
How does Agentic RE actually work under the hood?
But we can break it down
Okay.
into manageable chunks.
Okay.
Think of it like a team of specialists working together to solve a problem.
Okay, I like where this is going. Give me the team rundown.
First, you've got the user query interface,
Okay.
which is basically just how you interact with the system,
Okay.
asking your question or stating your request.
Gotcha.
Then there's the agent controller,
Okay.
which is like the project manager. It takes your query and figures out what needs to be done to answer it.
So it's analyzing my question
Yeah,
and coming up with a game plan.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you've got the reasoning and planning agent,
Okay.
which breaks that problem down into smaller tasks and creates a workflow for getting those tasks done.
Okay, I'm starting to see how the agentic part comes into play here.
Right,
It's not just passively searching for information.
right,
It's actively planning and figuring things out.
right. And of course, you need somewhere to get the information from,
Right.
which is where the knowledge base comes in.
Okay.
This could be anything: text documents, databases, images, even audio or video files.
So basically a giant library of information that the Agentic RAG system can draw from.
Exactly.
But how does it know which information is relevant?
That's where the retrieval agents come in.
Okay.
These are specialized agents that are experts in searching specific parts of the knowledge base.
Gotcha.
They use sophisticated algorithms to find the most relevant information for your query.
So it's like having a team of expert librarians.
Exactly.
Each with their own specialty.
Each with their own specialty.
They go out and find the information that's most likely to help answer my question.
Exactly.
This is all starting to make sense.
Good.
So we've got the query, the planning, the knowledge base, the retrieval.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next?
That's a great question.
How does it all come together?
And it's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
All right, folks, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Stay tuned because we're about to unpack the real magic of Agentic RAG.
Yes.
And how it's changing the game.
It is. It is. Welcome back.
All right, so where we left off,
Right.
we were talking about those retrieval agents and how they gather information from the knowledge base.
They do.
Like our crack team of AI librarians, each with their own area of expertise.
Exactly.
But now we've got all this information.
Right.
What happens next?
Okay, think of it this way. You've done a ton of research for a project.
Okay.
You've got stacks of books, articles.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need to kind of synthesize it all.
Right.
Pull out the key insights and present it in a way that makes sense.
Right.
That's where the summarizer comes in.
So the summarizer takes all that raw information from those retrieval agents and turns it into something coherent.
Exactly. It considers your original query,
Okay.
analyzes all the gathered information,
Okay.
and then generates a concise and informative response.
So it's not just about spitting out a bunch of facts.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the context
Right.
and presenting the information in a way that's relevant to me.
Exactly.
Okay, that's really important, especially when you're dealing with complex topics.
Yeah.
You don't want a data dump. You want insights and answers.
Right.
You want to be able to actually use this information. Okay.
So now before we deliver that final response, there's one more crucial step.
Okay.
The guardrails and AI safety evaluation agent.
Oh, right. The quality control team.
Yes.
We don't want any rogue AI responses slipping through the cracks.
Exactly. This agent acts as a final check, making sure the response is accurate, relevant, and safe.
Like having an editor double checking everything before it goes out the door.
Exactly.
So to recap, we've got the query, the controller, the planner, the knowledge base, the retrieval agents, the summarizer, and the safety check.
Right.
Okay.
That's quite a pipeline.
It is quite a pipeline.
Yeah.
But all this technical stuff is great.
Right.
What does it actually look like in the real world?
Okay.
You mentioned travel planning earlier.
Yeah.
What are some other ways Agentic RAG is being used?
One area where we're seeing a lot of potential is in customer service.
Customer service.
Imagine contacting a company.
Yeah.
And instead of going through that frustrating phone tree or dealing with a chatbot that just doesn't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're interacting with an AI that can actually understand your issue and help resolve it.
Okay. So that would definitely be a game changer.
It would.
For customer service.
It would.
How would Agentic RAG actually work in that scenario?
Let's say you're having a problem with a product.
Okay.
The Agentic RAG system would access your account history,
Okay.
product manuals, even community forums.
Wow.
To get a complete picture of the situation.
Okay.
And then it could guide you through troubleshooting steps, suggest solutions, or even connect you with a human agent if needed.
Okay.
All without you having to repeat your problem multiple times or jump through hoops.
Right. Exactly. Much less frustrating for everyone involved.
Exactly. For everybody.
What other applications are out there?
Another fascinating area is scientific research.
Scientific research, okay.
Scientists are constantly bombarded with new studies, findings.
I can imagine.
It's nearly impossible to keep up.
Right.
Agentic RAG can help by analyzing vast amounts of research data.
Okay.
Identifying patterns, highlighting potential connections that human researchers might miss.
So it's like having a tireless research assistant who can sift through all that data and point out the most important stuff.
Exactly. And it's not just about summarizing existing research.
Okay.
Agentic RAG can also help generate new hypotheses and research questions.
So potentially accelerating the pace of scientific discovery.
Potentially accelerating.
That's incredible. So it sounds like Agentic RAG could really revolutionize
I think so.
how we approach complex problems, from customer service to scientific research.
Absolutely.
Are there any other areas where it's making a splash?
Absolutely. One area that has huge potential is personalized education.
Personalized education.
Imagine a world where learning is tailored to each individual student's needs and learning style.
Okay, let's break that down a bit.
Okay.
How would personalized education work with Agentic RAG?
Let's say you're learning about a new concept in math.
Yeah.
Agentic RAG could analyze your previous work, identify your strengths and weaknesses,
Okay.
and then create a customized learning plan
Wow.
with explanations, examples, and practice problems that are tailored to your specific needs.
So basically like a personal tutor.
Like a personal tutor.
Who knows exactly how you learn best.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And speaking of personalized experiences, what about using Agentic RAG for creative tasks?
Okay.
Could it help writers, artists, musicians?
That's a great question, and one that researchers are actively exploring.
Okay.
There's already a lot of buzz about AI tools that can generate text, music, even artwork.
Right, and I'm sure you've seen some of the crazy stuff these AI art generators are putting in.
I have. Wow.
Wild stuff.
Yep.
So now imagine an Agentic RAG system that could not only generate creative content,
Right.
but also understand your artistic vision,
Yeah.
offer suggestions,
Right.
and help you refine your ideas.
Right. It's like,
That sounds like a dream come true
it does. Yeah.
for any creative person.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, does it take away some of the human element?
Right.
Where's the line between AI assistance and AI taking over?
That's a really important question, and it's one that we need to be thinking carefully about as this technology continues to develop.
Okay.
We'll definitely delve into some of those ethical considerations in the next part of our deep dive. But for now,
Okay.
I think it's safe to say that Agentic RAG has the potential to be a powerful tool
Yeah.
for creativity, just like it is for problem solving and information management.
Well, you've definitely given me a lot to think about.
I'm sure.
Agentic RAG seems to have implications
Yeah,
for pretty much every aspect of our lives.
I think so.
It's exciting,
It is.
but also a little daunting. You have
Yeah.
to think about all the possibilities and potential challenges.
Right.
Where do we go from here?
Well, that's where we'll pick up in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll explore some of the broader implications of Agentic RAG,
Gotcha.
including its potential impact on society,
Right.
the workforce, and even our understanding of intelligence itself.
All right, folks, buckle up. We're about to head into the deep end.
That's right.
Stay tuned for the final part of our Agentic Ag deep dive. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the basics of RAG to the grad school version, that is Agentic RAG,
Right.
and all the incredible things it can do.
It's pretty amazing.
But I think it's time to address the elephant in the room,
Yeah.
or maybe the AI in the server rack, so to speak.
Right. Right.
You know, we've talked about how Agentic RAG is changing customer service, research, even creative fields.
Yeah.
What about the bigger picture?
Yeah, that's the big question.
What does this all mean for society, for jobs, for how we even think about intelligence?
I think that's what everybody's thinking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Can they hear about this?
that's what's been swirling around in my head this whole time.
Yeah.
We keep saying it's like having a personal assistant, or it's like a team of researchers.
Right.
But at some point, does that analogy break down?
It's a crucial question.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that makes Agentic RAG so different from earlier AI
Okay.
is its ability to learn and adapt in ways we haven't really seen before.
Yeah.
It's not just following pre-programmed rules.
Right.
It's actually problem solving and making decisions in real time.
And that's both exciting and kind of unsettling.
It is.
Right. On the one hand, we could have AI helping us solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Right.
On the other hand, it raises all kinds of questions about what happens to human jobs,
Right.
human expertise, even human decision-making.
That's right. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations now, before this technology becomes so widespread that we haven't thought through the consequences.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are some of the key things we should be considering
Yeah.
as Agentic RAG continues to evolve?
Well, one thing that comes up a lot is the potential impact on the workforce.
The workforce, okay.
If AI can do more and more of the tasks that humans currently do,
Right.
what does that mean for jobs, right?
Yeah.
Will we see mass unemployment, or will new types of jobs emerge?
I think it's probably a bit of both, right?
It's probably a bit of both.
Some jobs will inevitably be automated,
Right.
but new opportunities will also arise.
Right, especially in areas like AI development, maintenance, and oversight,
Right, exactly.
things like that.
And it's important to remember that AI is a tool.
It is.
It's not inherently good or bad.
Right.
It depends on how we use it.
Exactly.
We need to be thoughtful about how we integrate Agentic RAG into the workforce,
Right.
making sure that it benefits everyone
Yes.
and doesn't exacerbate existing inequalities.
Right. Exactly.
That's a good way to put it. AI is a tool.
Yeah.
because it reminds us that we're still the ones in control, right?
Humans are.
Humans are the ones making the decisions.
That's right.
About how to develop and deploy and regulate these systems.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another key consideration.
Governance.
Governance. Okay. We need to develop clear guidelines and regulations for the development and use of Agentic RAG, ensuring that it's used ethically and responsibly.
So things like data privacy, transparency, bias.
All those things.
These all become even more important.
More important, yeah.
When we're talking about AI that can make decisions.
Exactly.
And take actions.
Yes, we need to be thinking about these issues from the very beginning.
Right.
Designing systems that are fair, unbiased, and accountable.
It's a lot to wrap our heads around.
It is.
But I think that's the point, right?
It is.
This isn't just a technical challenge.
Sure.
It's a societal one.
Absolutely.
We need everyone at the table.
We do.
From technologists to policymakers to everyday citizens.
Right.
To figure out how to navigate this new landscape.
It's a brave new world in a way, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
And it's not all doom and gloom.
No, not at all.
There's also immense potential for Agentic RAG.
Oh, absolutely.
To improve our lives in countless ways.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine a world where AI can help us personalize education.
Yeah.
Develop new medical treatments. Even address climate change.
Exactly. It's a very exciting time.
Yeah, those are the kind of aha moments that make all this complexity worth grappling with.
I think so.
It's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about what we can achieve with it.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive,
Okay.
What's the one thing you want our listener to walk away with?
I think the key takeaway is that Agentic RAG is a powerful tool with incredible potential, both for good and for challenges we need to address. It's up to all of us to shape how this technology evolves and ensure that it's used to create a better future for everyone.
I like that. That's a great way to put it. And for our listeners,
Yeah.
I hope this deep dive has given you a solid foundation for understanding not just the what of Agentic RAG, but also the why and the so what.
Right.
This is a fascinating and rapidly evolving field.
It is.
And one that we'll definitely be keeping our eyes on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for diving in with us.
Good to be here.